Hello Aesthetic Masters, and today I'm going to be doing a review of Mac OS 7.6, I think, on this Power Macintosh 7200. Now, as you can tell, that was a sound that signaled that this machine has lots of aesthetic. And so does the fact that this computer not only is booting up real quickly with this old Mac OS face, but also the fact that this machine has, not only does it have that Happy Mac symbol, and not only does it have those puzzle pieces, but another cool part about this machine is that this machine is a Mac. I mean, look at all these puzzle pieces right there. They just signal the fact that this machine is just bursting to the brim with aesthetic. It's got all this aesthetic in one machine. You might be wondering how it's possible. Well, that's because it's using the power of the Power PC to have an unreal amount of aesthetic. I mean, look at these. Look at this Macintosh HD folder. This only has a 1.3 gig hard disk, so it doesn't have too much. And all these icons got crushed from when it keeps resizing the disk. But as you can tell, 7.6.1 on this aesthetic Mac. As you can tell here, this thing is loaded with aesthetic for all my gaming sessions right here. So now let's see just how aesthetic this is. As you can see, there is not a lot of additional shading or any of that added. It's just aesthetic. It's got that aesthetic Chicago font. It's got that aesthetic blue shading over the windows. It's got that aesthetic menu where you have to hold down to select stuff. Now, sure, you can install some appearance manager, but that takes away part of the aesthetic, and trust me, on this Mac, we want the maximum amount of aesthetic right here. And as you can tell, I've got some games on here, because this is a Mac, so I got quite a few Mac games. I mean, look at this intense Macintosh game. This is so intense that it will blow you away. I mean, look at these intense Mac graphics. Wow, this is so intense. Oh wait, there's no volume button, so I gotta quit the game and change the volume of this. Wow. Now you see, unlike the Wii U, the Mac is region free. And it even has a single button aesthetic mouse, and it's got a nice mechanical keyboard because that's pretty aesthetic. But as you can see, I've got my games on my Mac, like Puyo Puyo 2 Game of the Year Edition. Look at this. This is a great game. This is a classic game right here. And if you disagree with me, I will get into a 12-page flame war with you about why this game is great and amazing when I'm when I'm done drinking my game fuel. Now I just drank a whole can of this so I can be pro at Puyo Puyo. Now, of course, the only issue is of course the fact that these that I only have, what is it, this controls or something? Yeah, I'm playing with one hand, so I'm not going to be as good as I would be if I was playing with two hands. Because, two-handed is the best way to play any game like this. Any gamer knows. And, yeah, see right here, I'm like a gamer. I'm like a real gamer playing fucking Puyo Puyo bit. Oh man, I'm getting fucked by the AI. Yeah, I gotta play with two hands. Fuck this shit. You can't play this game one-handed. You can't hold your sick aesthetic camcorder and play Puyo Puyo. It just doesn't work. Oh, and I've also got some other games for this Mac, like Marathon 2. Because, you know, it's Marathon 2, and Marathon 2 is like the Mac game. I mean, every time you hear that theme song, you know that you're experiencing real sick gaming. Great game right here. I mean, it's pretty aesthetic, and it's fun for like shooting enemies because it makes you feel like a sick badass. But here's a cool feature this Mac has that most don't. If you hit Command and Enter, which I'm going to do right now, it will actually enable some super secret double aesthetic mode. Now you might be wondering what that is. Well, it throws you into DOS and Windows 3.1. So not only does this Mac with System 7.6.1 have plenty of aesthetic, but as you can tell, what the fuck is wrong with this piece of shit? Hold on. Alright, so I tweaked it a little, and as you can tell, now the aesthetic works great. Just check this out. Microsoft Windows for Workgroups 3.11 Aesthetic Edition. Just look at that sound. That tells you the aesthetic is loading. Let's hit cancel. And now let's get the real aesthetic feel. So the first thing you do is you open up canyon.mid and you hit play. And you close out of that. Turn the volume up a bit. And then you go open up the best game ever, and that is Solitaire. Now everybody knows that Solitaire is the greatest game ever, or one of them at least. See, look, I'm just dominating right now in Solitaire. This is an amazing classic game. I'm just getting all these aesthetic points just by dragging these cards. This is so amazing. This is game of the year. And in the future, when gamers look back at the games people played, they will recognize Solitaire as one of the greatest games and most iconic things of the 90s. Along with that Casio watch that just went beep beep. Look at this. I'm just dominating right now. I'm an MLG at Solitaire. This is great. This game is amazing. Game of the year. Right there. IGN gives this game high scores for a reason, and that's because it's a classic game. You can never hate Solitaire. Unless you lose at it, of course. Because this is a classic. I'm feeling the aesthetic right now. There's so much aesthetic that I can't contain it right now. You can also put Windows 95 on here, but the problem with that is you need a bigger hard drive, which I don't have because I don't have enough aesthetic bucks to spend on a bigger hard drive, which is horrible. This is game of the year right here. I'm just dragging these cards away and winning at Solitaire. And now it's time for the most aesthetic and greatest ending in any video game. Here it is. Get ready for it. Wow, just look at all these cards bouncing. It's the greatest sight ever. Game of the year. But let's just say you get bored of playing Solitaire all day. Well, thankfully, this system, which not only runs System 7.6.1 but also DOS, allows me to play any game I want. Check it out. I can run Duke Nukem 3D on this Mac because I've got this card in it that allows me to get the most aesthetic out of my gaming setup. Just listen to that sound. And it's even got the OPL3. I mean, look at this. This is you when you play Duke Nukem 3D. You become like that. Because Duke Nukem 3D is a great game. You can't deny it. I mean, listen to that theme song. It's so hardcore. It's taking a while to load. That's because I only have 8 megs of RAM. So look at this. Look at this hardcore gameplay. Like, it's so sick. I'm not going to play much of it because I can't play Duke Nukem 3D one-handed, but look how badass this game is. Of course, you can't deny it. It's Duke Nukem 3D. Great game. So yeah, there you go. Of course, I'm going to just use one key command on the back of my Mac. So here you go. Got this sick computer, which is real gamers like approved. This is for real gaming right here. And look, I've even got the same keyboard and mouse, so I'm not faking this. This is a sick machine right here. That's all I have to say. I give Mac OS 7.6.1 an aesthetic out of 10. I mean, this is so aesthetic that I feel like listening to Diana Ross, It's Your Move, slowed down. And look, it's even got a CD drive. So I can put in my 90s CDs. Got some right here. Like, let me just grab something. Yeah, this first CD on my stack, this will play it. Like, I just gotta put it in, and then I can listen to copyrighted music that isn't allowed on YouTube. So, here you go. Great machine. 10 out of 10. I give this thing 10 bottles of Fiji water out of 10. Feel the vapors. Great machine.